Hi everyone, it's Gypsy, and it seems like a fairly good time to do a video. Persephone, Miss Ma'am over there, has been wound up since she woke up this morning. Just bouncing off the walls, in and out, in and out. She couldn't decide. I think she's realized the weather is not going to improve today. So she's staying inside, she decided. Yes, even in the desert. It is freezing here. It's 54 degrees, but it's windy with wind gusts of 40 miles an hour, so it feels even colder. And if you're used to the desert, 54 is freezing, which is why I am in my blanket. And I have a cup of hot cocoa, Mexican hot cocoa, yes. Which is always the best with all the spices in there. Let's see. Announcements. Don't mind me today. Gypsy Witch Creations up and running. I do have a blog on there. So the link, gypsywitchcreations.com, which is below, is also the link to my blog. You can find my products and my blog there. Today's video is connected to the blog post I wrote this morning. I think it's called The Fear of Death is what I called it. So that's there. All of my latest art you can find there. Where I am at any given time selling my art and doing readings in person can be found there. So please check that out. It's still a work in progress, excuse me. Let's see. Oh, I also, I just filtered today. It was finally ready. Actually, it could have been ready last week, but I decided to let it sit another week. Well, due to time. Yeah. This is Valerian root glycerate. I made this because I have high blood pressure. But it is very, very good for high blood pressure, sleep, anxiety, so many things. Now, when I make my next glycerate, or I make a tincture, I'm going to be doing a video on it. In fact, I'm going to start doing videos on herbs and their properties, their magical properties and their medicinal properties. All of those videos are for my patrons. So please go to Patreon and subscribe to become one of my patrons. You'll learn about herbs and how to make tinctures and glycerates. We'll be talking all about that. We will also be talking about the esoteric. There will be live question and answer night, I don't know, maybe once a week, where you can ask whatever you want, and it will be answered by the spirit realm, not Gypsy, the spirit realm. Yeah, because I'm currently incarnated, so my resources, my knowledge is limited. All of ours is why we're incarnated. And let's see, we will be doing that. We will be having contests to win a piece of my art. We will be having contests to win a free reading. If you are not in my area, we do it on Zoom. So anyways, if you want to learn about herbs, making tinctures and glycerates and their uses, their properties, magical, medicinal, and otherwise, please go to Patreon. The link is below, and become a patron. Okay, so while I'm sitting here freezing, yeah, when you live like I do, heat is limited, power is limited, yeah, so you make do. I wanted to talk about, well, death and being happy. Now, I hope I can explain this in a way that everyone will understand. I can tell you, the day my oldest son died, John, it was the worst day of my life. I thought I would never survive it. I really did. But I have. And I'm happy. I live a happy life. Now, that being said, what I am trying to say is, I have mentioned in the past, all my life, I've had an interest in death. Some people might say it's an obsession, or I'm morbid, and I have been told that in the past. Now, people think because I'm so interested in death, I couldn't possibly be a happy person. Now, I'll admit, there was a large chunk of my life when I was younger where I wasn't happy. I am now, though. But guess what? I'd say my interest in death, in dying, in the afterlife, is even stronger than it was back then when I was depressed. Anyways, what I'm trying to say here is, excuse me, I have some, yeah, it must be the weather. We all come in with a purpose in our life, many purposes actually. There is not one person on this planet who does not have a purpose. You may think you don't, but you do. Your life may seem very ordinary, but you have a purpose. A lot of it, most of it is to serve yourself so that you can learn and grow. But then many of us come in to teach others things, whether it be someone immediate close to you or on a wider scale. My purpose was to come in and teach about death and what it really is, to take away that fear of death. Okay? Now we all know what Gypsy says about fear. The bigwigs at the top of the echelon, they use it to control us. Divide and conquer and fear. Fear is great at causing the divide and so they can conquer. And vice versa. I mean, it just works so well. Fear is such a wonderful thing for if you want to gain control over others. You do know I'm being sarcastic, right? The wonderful thing. No, fear is not wonderful. It's one of the reasons I'm here. Get rid of the fear. Now, I am not saying you're never going to be afraid. I mean, it is a natural instinct to protect yourself, to be afraid of something so that you react. That's what the adrenaline is for. Whoops! Spirit got too close to the camera again. What we don't want is what we call living in fear. Living in fear is constant anxiety, depression, and fear over the unknown or what you're being brainwashed into believing, etc. Now, one of the biggest things, now you would think spiritual paths, particularly organized religions, would try to help you. Their purpose would be to not have you be afraid of death. They take away that fear, but that's not what I experienced in my lifetime. Okay? So, death is merely a transition. It's your graduation from this lifetime. Okay? And that's all it is. The only thing that is real about death is the death of the physical body. Always remember, we are eternal beings. Okay? We are eternal beings. We are not actually our body while we're incarnated. It's part and parcel. We're one. But that's not the true you. The true you is your spirit, the higher aspects of yourself. So, you will die, your body will die, you'll cross over, and you're going to be as happy as a lark. That being said, that is what I came in to teach. Now, you can have this awareness of death and not be afraid of it and still be happy. People think because I don't have a fear of death and I'm actually looking forward to going back to my true home. Auntie sees is messing with the color again. They went black and white. Yeah. She says, you're damn right. I just damn straight. Yeah, you like when I said that? Damn straight. Right. You don't have to be afraid of death, just knowing what it is. Now, I understand, and I will be the same way when my time comes. As much as I'm looking forward to crossing over, I'm going to be nervous. How am I going? Will it hurt? How much pain and suffering, etc., etc., etc. I get into this on my blog post this morning, so if you want to read that, go to the link below, and then just click on blog, and it'll be right in there. It's called The Fear of Death. So, because I have this understanding of death, and I've always been interested in it, I've worked for hospice, I've worked for cemetery, I'm a psychic medium, I talk about it a lot. Does not mean I'm suicidal. I am not. Even though I am looking forward to going home, I am not suicidal. I am not depressed. Sure, everybody has their days where it's one of those days you feel like throwing in the towel. Everybody feels that way. Yeah, you pretty much said it right. If they understood. Sometimes I say that word towel and nobody understands what I'm saying. T-O-W-E. No, let's not even try. Anyways, so that's what one of my purposes is, to help you understand. Fear is nothing to be afraid of. And we've talked about pre-life planning before. Again, read my blog post. But I am not morbid. In fact, I'm quite the opposite. Do I look, Sometimes the way I dress. Oh, my witchy woo-woo clothes. Yeah, I like my black skirts, my peasant skirts, and my scarves. And yeah, I do look, maybe I look morbid. I don't know, but I'm not. I'm actually a very happy person. How can I not be? I live a nomadic life. I live in a 17-foot trailer by choice. I sell my art on the road, do readings on the road. I'm just, yeah, I spend all day, doing what I love, my art. Whoops. Spirit got too close to the camera again. So how can I not be happy? I've created a life I love, the life I've wanted. So I am happy. That was one of my goals in this life, was to learn how to be happy by creating my own life, because I could never do that before. And, well, this life, and I have a feeling previous lives. Not positive about that one, but just a feeling I have. So yes, you can have an understanding of death and not be afraid of it. And still be a happy, well-adjusted person. And that's who I am. Death is a transition. It's your graduation. You live on. And like my son John told me after he crossed over, separation is an illusion. So when one of your loved ones dies, they're not lost. They're right there with you. It's like you're in the next room, right? In other words, the person who's currently incarnated usually cannot see you. Sometimes they can feel you. So it's pretty much like someone in the next room. But they're right there with you. There is not this separation thing, which I think we're gonna do a video on when you die and you're totally in spirit. Where are you? What's it like? Are you far? Is there a totally other place, etc.? But that again is going to be on Patreon, everybody. So, anyways, we need to work on having an understanding of death, accepting it, because guess what? Everyone is going to die at some point in their life. So at some point in your physical life, you're going to die. Everybody get that? You understand that? You might as well accept it. I have known people who live in such fear of death, they're not really living. And that's sad. That's sad. I mean, if I died, like, as soon as I got done with this video, okay, I'd be happy. I'd be at home in the spirit realm celebrating. The people down here would be sad. But I don't really, I don't worry about when I die and how I'm dying. I don't think about it. I just think, things get bad on this planet. I'm like, how much time left do I have here? Stuff like that when people are acting stupid. Okay, that's all the time. Never mind. I can't use that example. That's a bad example, Michelle. Yeah. Anyways, it's okay to not have a fear of death. I mean, I'm not saying don't take care of yourself. I'm not saying be reckless. I will bring my cousin John into this. My cousin John was reckless, and yeah, he's dead now, but that was part of the plan for you getting out of here. I used to babysit for him. It was frightening. I was afraid, yes, she says, no, she wasn't worried. My Aunt Debbie's over there. Uncle Dave isn't, but yeah, I used to worry about my aunt and uncle. They knew how he was, yeah. All right, he was reckless, but that was a part of his personality, and, it's not that he didn't care. Care about yourself, take care of your body, but don't live in fear and worry. And when you don't live in fear and worry about it, it's harder for others to control you. Okay? There's an afterlife. It is pleasant for everyone. Sorry. For everyone, yeah. There's nothing to worry about, is what I'm saying. Now, if you don't wish to believe these things and it does not resonate with you, just leave it. It's okay. Oop, there we go with color again. It's okay. You don't have to believe it. But if it resonates, take it with joy. Anyways, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.